HannahMouse1 here. In this video, I'm going to be drawing characters based on emojis. I'm going to be starting with this mermaid, and I'm going to try and keep the pose as similar as possible to the emoji, the colour scheme as similar as possible, and try and make a cute character out of this. So I start by making a basic sketch of the mermaid in the pose where she has one hand on her hip and one hand waving. And I try and make it look cute, but also reflecting the original. I make her bra crop top thing that she has in the emoji. And then I start working on her face. I keep her face simple because there's not much detail in the emoji. So I just do eyes, nose and mouth in a fairly simple fashion and try and make it look cute. Then I do her hair with the parting being pretty clear, and then with like little wispies going down the side in little clumps, as it is in the emoji, with two on the left hand side and one point poking out bit on the right hand side, as is in the emoji. And I just keep defining the details more and more as I go along, becoming more and more definitive as I become happier and happier with the positioning of stuff, and erasing some of the sketch marks as I go to help me define things easier. The pose of her hand is slightly different in the than in the emoji. Like in the emoji, it looks slightly more like conversational, like maybe she's explaining something. But I thought this was close enough, and it makes more sense as a standalone image than the emoji's position does. Like, I don't really get, what is she explaining? Like, why is that being brought up in this emoji sort of thing? And I do the tail. I had some trouble with the fin because it's a lot of it's hidden, so I don't really know where a lot of it is. But I was able to get something that I was happy with, and I draw some scales on the tail for further detail, so you can actually tell that it's meant to look like a mermaid's tail rather than just a vague blob. It helps add some direction and just makes it look a lot more interesting. So yeah, just go along adding in these little bumps, try and make it look random with how many are together, but also there was logic in the fact that I didn't want long clumps next to short ones. It's funny, when you do random stuff, it's often the least random thing you'll draw because you want it to look random. And if you have two of the same thing next to each other, yeah, that could happen in randomness, and it probably will, but you don't want that. I do the outline and then erase all the sketch marks. And this gives me a nice clean base to work off of. And then I start colouring in. I keep the colour scheme as close as I can to the emoji. The colour scheme is awful. Typically when I colour, I like to have one primary colour that I use throughout the entire thing. But here, she has a reddish pink bra, blue hair and a green tail. It's there's no consistency at all. So it's it feels weird. It almost feels like how I would have coloured in a kid's colouring book when I was 7. Bright bold colours and no two things are the same sort of thing. That's how I coloured in as a kid. But if I was her, I'd have done made either the hair and the tail, or the bra and the tail, or the bra and the hair the same. Or all three made them similar, in the same spectrum, but it's random. Instead of giving her bright yellow skin, because that's not flattering, I lightly use an orange one to make it look more tan, because I didn't really want to give her vibrant Simpson yellow skin. Looks good for an emoji and for The Simpsons, not for this girl. Now I go on to this person, which is person in steamy room emoji. for the time to use that. So yeah, I start with the sketch again. And the person's face is really generic. At first I had the eyes open because that's how it is in the emoji. But then I realised that didn't really make a whole lot of sense. Because if they're at a spa, I'd kind of want them to look relaxed. So in the end I just closed the eyes. It means I'm not exactly following the emoji, but it makes more sense with the picture. And the objective here is to make some cool looking characters. So yeah. Just go through and I make out the shoulders and the bathrobe and I add in some steamy clouds. Then I colour in the bathrobe orange. The colour palette on this one's a whole lot better. Like it has ginger hair, an orange robe. Like it's all in an orangey, yellowy colour scheme, and that works a whole lot better than having pink, blue and green as all colours on your piece. This monochromatic look is a whole lot better, or limited colours look is a whole lot better. Again, I steer clear of the bright yellow because I want it to look human. And the robe itself is a lot more of a pinky red than an orangey red, but than in the emoji, but I kind of like it. Yeah, so I just go through with that, try and get a nice consistent colour. I like working with colour pencils, they're one of my favourite mediums, and sorry it's so out of focus, but yeah, it can be a bit of a tiring process, a bit laborious. I do her lips in pink, in the same pink I use for the bathrobe, and then I just use a normal pencil to darken the areas behind the steam cloud. I just go all the way through, trying to make that as clear that there's something there, but also look transparent. And yeah, it was also really hot when I was doing this, which is why I have the little mini fan there. I use my finger to smudge everything out, like to blur it out. It makes it look a whole lot more consistent with graphite pencils. It can very easily make everything look smoother. So just blend everything out. I'm pretty happy with that one. So now we'll go on to this vampire emoji, just because I thought it'd be cool. So I start off again with the basic sketch. Try and go for a more masculine jawline. And I just instantly jump into the outfit. I do a collar and then a bow tie, as he's wearing a bow tie in the piece. I actually give this character a cape. You can't see that in the original, but it works better with the high collar, I think. So yeah, I do the ears. Then I work out the hairline, which is very exaggerated. And then I go on to the features. Had some fun with the mouth, with the super sharp teeth. The emoji! The teeth look like they come over the bottom lip, but obviously that makes zero sense. So yeah. I did this eye a bit crooked, so I redid that. I want it to look like kind of dead behind the eyes almost. Then I go on to the colour. I do the red for the inside of the lining. Try and make that as consistent as possible by doing lots of little circles. It stops too many streaky lines appearing. It's pretty cute. I'll do the same on the other side. And I had a lot of fun with this one. Yeah. Just do all this on the inside of the lining in the same colour. Nice consistent bright red. Very traditional vampire colours. For the hair I start with blue, making it like the lines generally in the direction where I want the hair to go. I wanted there to be some texture to the hair. So I just make the lines pretty sporadic. And then with black, I go in and make a much more consistent look. So you can still see the streaks and it still looks blue-black, but yeah, it has some texture to it. Yes. So yeah, I go through and do that. It looks good. I do the eyes in red, the same red I used for the cape. And I do the tongue in colour. I work some brown into the hair to make it look a bit more normal because black hair tends to be a darker permutation of brown. For this one, I do use yellow for the skin, but I do it very lightly to make it look really pale and sickly. Like there's some colour there, so it's not like completely white. Just lightly go over in yellow in places to make it just look very, very pale. Because a guy who's allergic to the sun probably isn't getting that much of a tan. I do black for the clothes. I just go through everything with a black pencil. Up to the collar, the sides of the collar, I do also in black. Basically do all the clothes in black. Sorry. I go down and start working on the cape. Just trying to get a nice, consistent greyish colour. And I smudge it out to get rid of the streaky look, just using my finger. The entire outfit is like that, so I skipped past a lot of it. And then I add some shading to the bow tie. Add some detail and definition to that. It was pretty cute. Not cute as a vampire, but it looks pretty formal. I guess cool. Blend it out. And I'm pretty happy with that. So thanks for watching. Follow me on Instagram at HannahMousCrafts, and I'll see you next week. Bye!